Did you miss me? Huh? 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 I bet you didn't. It's okay. I wouldn't either. Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. So sorry that I've been gone for a while. I recently got a temporary job at my local bookstore. Well, I would say campus bookstore, but we're off campus. But it's the bookstore that I got all of my textbooks from when I was in college, so that's pretty cool. Why do you meow every time I film a video? But anyway, I've been super busy with that. I've gotten a lot of hours from that because school just recently went back in session. I know, it's weird that I'm sad about that, but I feel weird not going back to school. But anyway, local college went back to school, so had people come in and get textbooks and stuff. And I'm probably going to do a video on that once I know that I'm finished with everything there, because I got some stories to tell and I want to make sure that I get every story good. But today is kind of going to go along with that. I have a college advice video and I have it all written down in this notebook. I need to put some more stickers on here because I've got my Hotch stickers back here, but yeah. But anyway, so that's what this video is going to be. But this isn't going to be the typical college advice video, because most of them are going to be like how to safely party, how to do spring break right, da-da-da-da-da. I'm not that kind of person. I didn't join a sorority when I was in college, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just, that's not me. I'm more of like a nerd, so I want to give you the nerdy college tips, and if you want the other tips, you can go find them. There's a ton of videos like that. So with that in mind, let's get into the nerdy college tips. So my first one, I cannot stress enough, is to go to class. It seems like common sense, but you would be surprised at the people, like you would see them the first day of class, or maybe not at all. And then the only times that you would see them is on test days. And literally, I've had professors joke about that before because they're real. They know that that happens. But it's, number one, yes, there may be classes that are boring, but sometimes the teacher will talk about stuff in class that's not in the textbook. I can't stress how many times my teachers would be like, now you need to write this down because it's not in the textbook and it's not going to be in the notes anywhere. So you miss out on that for the test. And then two, you're paying for it. Like, I don't understand the people that like get student loans and stuff for college and then they don't go to class. It's like, you're basically wasting that money that you could use for something else if you don't want to be here. I don't know. And also sometimes teachers will give you extra credit. Like, I had a teacher that either it was like the day before a break or the day before a holiday or a day after we came from break or something like that, and they would give extra credit because they knew that a lot of people wouldn't show up to class. So that's a good way to get extra credit, by the way. So that's something. And then the next one kind of goes along with that, is to, well, it's in two parts. I'm going to talk about the first one first from like a bookseller perspective now, and from a student point. But buy and read your textbooks. And again, I can't stress that enough. Yes, there are times when you go to class and the teachers say you don't need the textbook. But for me, I was always the type of person that I would rather go ahead and get all of my textbooks that they said they needed, so that when the first day of class came, if they said, oh, we don't use it, you can return it and get your money back. Because now, as like from a bookseller point of view, we have so many people that are trying to find their textbooks for their class that sometimes we run out of stock of it, and then we have to order them from the publisher. And then sometimes if it's custom to that college, they have to reprint them and remake them, and it takes forever. So we've got a ton of students now that are waiting on chemistry lab books because they didn't buy them when they needed to, and now they're all gone. Everybody's trying to find one, and they don't have anything to do their labs with. So, yeah. And I have had a bunch of people that have come in and said, you know, I got this textbook, don't need it for class anymore. and we were able to refund them. So that's just me. I'd rather go ahead and get them early, know that you have them, and then you can substitute if you need to. But don't wait till the last minute to get your textbooks if you figure that you're going to need it. If it's a lab and it says that you need a book, chances are you're going to need it because that's what you turn in. So, and with that also, if there's a class that says you need to read your textbook, chances are you should, because sometimes teachers can be sneaky and see who reads the textbook, and so they'll put questions on the test that wasn't in their teachings. You can only find it in the textbook, and you would only know it if you read the textbook. And then I've had other teachers that did extra credit questions, and they would just be in the textbook. And it's good because it kind of fortifies what you read or what you learned in class. Most of the teachers will tell you to read the chapter before class, and you can, but I always would read it after the class, because that way it would kind of, form in my mind. Like, I would read it and be like, okay, I remember talking about that in class, that makes sense, da-da-da-da-da. So that's just my advice. Just actually read your textbook, because again, you pay for it. You may as well use it, But, yeah. So the next one is another class-related one, but I suggest to take written notes. As you all know, I love my written notes. I love pens. I love colored pens. I love highlighters. I love notebooks. I love school supplies. So with me, I always found, like, the last semester, as you all may know, I think I talked about it, but I took notes on my Surface, which is actually right there in my bed. But that was really good because I recorded the lectures, and then sometimes before a test I would listen to them before the test. So I really liked that. But the negative side of that is that sometimes whenever there would be something boring going on and we wouldn't necessarily need to take notes on it, I would find myself going on like Instagram or Facebook or like saving YouTube videos or doing online shopping. So I got easily distracted. One of my classes, actually, that was all that I did because the teacher just rambled on and on. But anyway, that's beside the point. Still made an A in the class though. But for me, it's just easier to take written notes, and I actually found that I retained the information better that I had written down because, as I said, I used color notes. I think I may have talked about that in my college organization video. I'm not sure. If I didn't, I'll probably make another one. But I would like color code each section and everything. Like, my notes are so pretty. But I always found that I would retain the information better, and it helped me to stay awake during class because I would like look forward to using the next pen color for the notes to take. Wow, I am so weird. But anyway, that's just a suggestion to take written notes. That way you know that you want to stay awake in class and pay attention. So then the next part is, this is kind of like a stupid one, but carry a water bottle with you. Sometimes, like the school that I went to, they had it so hot in that building. Like, sometimes I would think that I was in hell because of the temperature in the building, because it was so hot. Like, not just during the winter time, but during the summertime. And my school had it to where the teachers couldn't mess with the thermostat to change the temperature in some of the buildings, so they'd have to open the window, which would result in outside noises coming in. But all of that to say, I would get super thirsty, and it's just good to have a water bottle or like a water container or something for you to use to have water in, because most colleges would probably have like at least a water fountain that you could fill up your bottle with. But mine finally got those ones that like you stuck a water bottle in it and it like refilled it, like it was a water fountain specifically for that. But it's just, that's something else in class. If I would try to stay awake, I would just like grab my water and drink it, and just water's good for you. So it has a lot of benefits to keeping water in class. So then the next one is kind of a more serious one, and I may do a separate video just on this, although I don't know if you would actually want to listen to me, because I've changed what I wanted to do in my life so many times. It's kind of ridiculous at this point, but is pick a major that is right for you. And what I mean by that is, don't pick a major that you think, I'm going to get a lot of money from this, because you may get a lot of money, but you'll also be miserable. Trust me. When I was at City, I made a lot of money, but I didn't like the job and I was miserable. And I would not want to go back to that time for anything, not even for the money. So, whether it is art that you want to do, or if you want to be pre-law or pre-med, pre-whatever, do that. And I know that some people can't because, their parents pay for college and everything, but just try to sit down. I know that this sounds difficult. I didn't really have the problem of my mom, not going along with my major, but just, pick the major that's right for you. And the way that you can tell that you're in the right major, this is what I would suggest to anybody that would, ask, or I would know that was undeclared and they'd ask me, how I knew what I wanted to major in or whatever. But take a bunch of different classes your first year if you're undeclared, and just kind of see what you like, what you don't like, and that can help direct you to where you want to go. So that's what I would always suggest. But like I said, you might not want to listen to me. So then the next one, and this kind of people have talked about this too, but get involved with clubs. One of the best experiences that I ever had was being in Golden Key, and that is an experience to this day that I'm still proud of, because I worked my way up from being just the public relations director all the way up to being the president. And I'm not saying that to brag in any way, but literally that is the one accomplishment when people ask me what is something you're proud of besides actually graduating from college, is I was president of Yada Yada Club. And not just that, I won an award because of it. And again, that's not bragging, but when I was in high school, I didn't really get involved, and so it was kind of, I went there just for the grades, and and I came home, did my homework, didn't do really anything. I was in beta club and French club, but we didn't really do anything, so it was kind of pointless. But I got an honor cord for beta club, and I wore graduation, but I mean, that's pretty much it. But, and then my freshman year, one of my advisors, whenever I told them, because I went to a different college, when I told them I was going to this one, she was like, well, you're going to have to work really hard to get president in a club, that'll look good for law school, so yada yada. Well, I proved them wrong, and I did become the president of a club, and not just one, but an honor society. And all of that to say is to get involved, because that was one thing that I really enjoyed in college, and besides being excited for my classes, it was one thing I'm like, okay, I'm here for a reason, is for this club. And like I said, you may get rewarded for it, either from gaining friendships or for getting an award. Never in my life would I think that I would get the award that I did, which is Overall Outstanding Student Organization President. I never thought that I would get that, because I'm not the type of person that wins awards like that. If anything, they're awards for my grades, but I've never gotten anything like that before. So just get involved in clubs, because it'll look good on your resume, and it shows that you're not just there for grades or partying or whatever. It'll show that you're a well-rounded individual. And then the last one isn't really college, but it kind of goes with it. And I'm sure a lot of you that are in college or going to go to college are already going to do this, but get a part-time job. I did not get a part-time job until my senior year. That's when I started at Lane Bryant, but that was because my mom said, your work and your schoolwork, or your schoolwork is your work right now, focus on that. And then it came to the point where I just wanted extra spending money, so I got a job. So that's something I would definitely suggest. College can be expensive, especially if you're a commuter like I was. You don't get the student ID. I mean, I could put ID, like the money on it. They're different things everywhere else. I could get that, but I just found it kind of pointless at the end. But, you know, you don't get like cafeteria food or anything like that. That is the one thing that I missed about my freshman year, is like getting free food. But it sucked, so, well, sometimes it did. The salads were really good, and the pizza was good every now and then. But anyway, but college can be expensive. Just between textbooks, school supplies, sometimes your teachers will be like, go out and get this. I literally had a teacher one time when we'd go into class and be like, you need this for the class, get this. And I'm like, I'm not made out of money. I wish I was. But, yeah. And between going out to eat with your friends or dates, whatever, it can add up a lot. And it's not always good to use all of your student loan money. Just a heads up. So, that was my school, college tips that were on the nerdy side, but I feel like that needs to be represented on here as well as the other stuff. And again, like if you're in a sorority or if you like to go to parties and stuff, I'm not bashing you, it's just I'm not that type of person. I've never been that type of person. I'm serious, I'm a nerd. Like seriously, I have always been one. I've always been the person that always reads. I got a special reading award in 2nd grade because of it. But I've always been the type of person that would rather stay at home and watch movies or play my video games or read than go out and party. So, like I said, that's just me. I'm not bashing you if that's what you like to do. But I hope that these tips help somewhat, maybe, possibly. But I know that it's back to school time for a lot of people. I'm so jealous of you. Seriously. You don't know how much you miss it when you get out. It sounds really weird, but you do. So, I may do some more back to school type videos. I don't know. I see a lot of YouTubers that are out of school that are doing like school supply hauls and stuff. And at this point, that's kind of ridiculous to me because you're not in school anymore. I mean, if you use that stuff, that's great. But I've seen some that are, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I mean, like I may do a school organization video, and I'm definitely going to do like kind of a story time, I guess, about my textbook experience, because there's some doozies, let me tell you. But anyway, that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one, which hopefully will be soon if I can get back to filming regularly. Bye. All that's left is a window to my soul. Come and get it.